Bruv.
Bruv.
Oh,
Nice.
congratulations.
Hey.
Yay.
Okay.
Cool.
The advice that JP gave help you out then?
Mm-hmm. Is it a pay raise from where you're working now? Okay. Good. Oh, good.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah,
Where's this at?
that's
I
fair.
mean,
Where's this
I don't
at?
know what.
No border. Oh,
Studio No
studio
Border.
no border.
Is it relatively new? Because you mentioned that they're getting like outside funding and stuff. Oh, sorry.
You will like if your advice was from Americans as well. You also need to consider that each country there's a definitely wide salary diversity.
Yeah.
So America is definitely one of the places where they can pay really well, particularly if you're in Los Angeles. But elsewhere, it's a huge fall. So yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Did they used to make board games? Yeah.
You can hear that?
Yeah.
Wow, my microphone is really sensitive. I'm just leaning against the chair. And
Nice, nice.
yeah.
That's
Sorry,
fine.
guys.
No, you're good.
And
thought
you
you
knew
were
it's coming from my
polishing.
microphone as well. It was Steve.
I mean, it shows the green
No,
little thing.
you mean Barry. I'm from Chicago. You're meant to be
Yeah, you're right. You're from Chicago. We can't
It's the
hold it
Windy
too
City.
much against you. Yeah.
Yes. You have the most particular Chicagoan accent I've ever heard, but I support it regardless. It's a very small part of Chicago.
You're right.
He's a mafia boss.
It's the part that's still a British territory in disguise. It's the part that's still a British territory in disguise.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Test. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
No, I'm sorry. I'm looking at the. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
This is people over in the disc over on my Twitch because I moved rooms today, so I don't have my old microphone, my other microphone. So they saw me talking, but they didn't hear me talking, and OBS did not auto-update the way Discord did.
I'm going to be nosy and ask, sorry for this dramatic change in subject, how is the modelling course? I have a feeling how the gaming course is, and I know Henry's in the body acting course, but what is Animschool's modelling course like? Are you doing environment? Are you doing character?
Yeah, I'm
Who did that? Matt.
I'm
God
loving
damn
it.
Hi.
Immediately. Well, you
But
got
yeah,
the guts, so it's fine.
I'm currently in rigging. But I did intro to modeling and intro to ZBrush.
Okay.
And I like really enjoy them both. The modeling, yeah, is really, really good for Animschool, I think.
So
like
now are you rigging what you made in last term, or have you got new assets to rig?
No, because I'm in intro to rigging. We're just rigging like one of the Animschool models that they have on the website. Just because like I don't have anything topology ready, because that's what I'm gonna learn in next class. Next class is about proper topology.
Weren't you sculpting earlier though?
Oh yeah, that was just for it's like a personal project thing.
Cool.
Yeah.
And are you? What's the goal at the end of it? Is it to be a sculptor? Is it to be a rigger? What's the plan? What's the ambition?
Yeah. I don't know actually. I'm kind of like figuring out as I go along. I kind of wanted to like dip my toe into like every aspect, but I'm not sure. I have a feeling I'll probably go into something like tech arty, or like TD kind of.
That's
I
a good field, but I actually, yeah. So my butt on that is that it's very ill defined. Like what I have as a tech art as a tech assistant right now is like I got talk from recruiters here, and a bunch of them were like a bunch of jobs that there's no way I could do yet based on their descriptions, and then one job that's like, oh hey, this is exactly what I was doing at my last company. You kind of. I mean,
you're going to find that in each role, though. Even in animation, yes, you're moving stuff, but depending on what you're moving, it can be very diverse.
Yeah, I think it's kind of just like you need to get really good at describing yourself as a problem solver and picking up some really specific problems, or like just writing how many different things you've done, because you're not really going to have a visual reel in the same way as an animator or a modeler is. It's like, look at how I make this asset really good. It's like more of a I can plug all the things together and write code and solve problems, and like just to make everything better by being there. Trust me, you just gotta believe me when I say it.
I was thinking like, oh yeah, you go.
I'm gonna say I'm strictly an animator, so in terms of these different areas, it would blow my mind. So somebody can know rigging, modeling, etc. I just know how to move something. So yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I was thinking of I don't really know, because I like computer science and artsy stuff generally. So I was just like, oh, I'll just dip my toe everywhere and see which I like most. But I was thinking I'd probably go into something like shaders, because that I feel like is a good mix of like technical coding stuff and like artistic things, because you're creating like textures and stuff with code.
That's true. Cool. Shaders, if you're a self-starter, there's 1,000 things you can do on shaders. I am not very good at it unless I am solving a problem. It's like, I want to do this thing.
Yeah.
And this thing has a purpose in a tech test or at a job. Now how do I figure it out? It's not like, I want to do this thing because it's Sunday and I'm bored and I've always wanted to figure it out.
Yeah, true.
So that's gaming. Would that be a gaming route that would take you down, or
potentially? I don't really know actually. I would be like really happy in either games or animation.
Cool. I mean, at some stage, I imagine one of them's going to grab you, or yeah. You might just go for your career and you'll be diverse, dipping in here and there, and
judging by my current position and future position, and from what everybody's told me, gaming is where you're going to get a lot more cash.
Really?
for these types of jobs, yeah.
I didn't know that. I thought like animation was high up there.
Animation is both. It's like you shouldn't look at it as gaming versus animation. It's like you're looking at pre-rendered linear like TV shows film versus gaming, like real time versus versus strictly linear storytelling.
Yeah, I see.
And gaming tends to be bigger projects, which with honestly a much bigger variety in styles, because your style comes out of not just the visual look of it, but also like how it plays and what the mechanics are and and there's many more aspects to it that can make something feel different, that can make a project into a different experience. And supposedly from everybody in the industry, they say that gaming's just where the money is at right now, which I absolutely understand, believe, considering feature was always sent to theaters where you have to buy tickets to get it, and then you have to buy DVDs that nobody wants to do, or it's on Netflix where they get a share of $10 a month per a game is like you buy $60, like everybody bues $60 or whatever the game is worth.
At the same time, it's letting, however cheesy it sounds, I'm sure through your path through Animschool, as I said, something's going to grab you, and yeah, you're going to know exactly which path. I remember being at university many years ago and having presentations about different areas of animation, and then an animator came in, Tim Allen who animated on Court's Bride, and what he said to me, finally everything just made sense. And it's like, right, I'm going to be an animator. So if at the moment you're unsure, the idea that you're staying open, you're building your foundations, etc., and really strengthening them up. And when I say foundations, I don't mean like early basics, etc. I mean, just your core skills are what a studio is going to be most attracted in. So it's just building up the right pillars and seeing where your mind leads. Because also, yes, money is an aspect, and that's certainly helped in the industry, but your passions also give you a bunch of happiness, because it is a big, tough, mean industry to be in, whether you're in gaming, whether you're in TV, whether you're in film. But there's a big love part involved in it as well, and that carries you through. Sorry, that sounds very romanticized, but hopefully that makes sense.
It's inspirational. That's good.
I gotta head out, guys. Sorry. Bye.
See ya.
Bye.
No, I wouldn't say romanticized. That makes sense to me. It's because that's basically how I got into tech art. I have a degree in game art, everything. It's just because it's never been a question for me. I've always known for my whole life I wanted to make games. I just didn't know what I wanted to do. And then I tried programming and computer science, and nah. That was way too syntax related, too many really finicky little specifics. I hate programming. So then I got a degree in game art, and I applied to one of the few places in Edmonton that would take me as a 3D artist, and then they hired me as something else. And then over time I did sort of everything except animation, the thing I want to do. And then I got into tech art because we had a need for it. So my career path has been apply for something, get hired for something else. This has happened twice now. Fill a bunch of gaps, solve a bunch of problems, learn a bunch of skills, and then leave so I can try to chase animation again.
So you still want to be an animator?
I want to do animation. I don't know if I would be happy as a full-time animator and not doing anything else. I also haven't had the chance to do that, but at this point, I think I'm... Like, if something pops up where it's available, I might just do animation for, like, a short time, but from what from what all my bosses have now told me, and, like, I've been told this and tried to be... and been redirected, like, 4 times. Which is, like... And I don't say this to put down anybody who wants to be an animator, because that's also me, but, like, there are thousands of animators. It's a job that people want to do because it's very surface level, and it looks like it's something that people see from the outside. They're like, oh, somebody makes those animations? That's awesome! So competition is very high for it. And the skill ceiling is very high for it. Meanwhile, technical art is that type of thing that nobody knows about until you get in and you see how many problems there are. So they're
Yeah.
very high demand and very highly rewarded if you can do that. And I also
Yeah,
have
yeah.
a skill and an interest in doing that kind of problem solving.
Definitely, but that's like you were naturally led there, and even though part of you wants to be an animator one day, there's plenty of would you describe it as an indie studio? I don't know, but there's plenty of projects out there which require several skills. When you're freelancing at home, those multiple skills are going to give you that advantage to own a whole project rather than just part of it. So, who knows where it may lead.
Like 3 years ago, I thought I was going to go into like biology, like a scientist researcher kind of person. So I'm like really glad that I like found that actually I was like super interested in game and animation and techie stuff.
Definitely.
Nice.
Just otherwise I would have to like have gone down to like specialist protein researcher, which I think I would have died doing because I like moving around and doing different things. I think I would die if I had to like research one thing for the rest of my life.
That's the thing as well. Like
That does
contracts are
biology.
maybe 3 to 6 months long. Sometimes you get a year contract. If you're in gaming, it could be much longer. But the shortness of the contracts can be, if you can work it to your favour and always line up a following contract. And studios are generally, you get a certain rhythm going. So when you finish one contract, you'll naturally start landing into your next. It may allow you to go, right, 3 months here, 3 months there, 3 months there. I'm going to now try this discipline. It really depends what career is right for the individual. See where he goes. But in terms of something completely different, being the biologist, I think you said it was, at college, so this was when I was 16, I wanted to be a lawyer because I can make lots of money. And I took graphic design and arts as a random subject, a pleasure subject. And I told my teacher I was going to leave. And her reaction was, "Go on then." And I was so offended that she didn't care that I'm like, "Screw you, I'm staying." And then, many years later, I'm still working in the arts. So if she hadn't told me, "Screw you," like, well, just go on then, and I haven't had that defiant, "Wait a minute, you can't. You got to show more care than that. I'm gonna stay and make you care." Then who knows where it would have been. So
So
Nice.
this is a little off topic, but it is kind of on the note of care and stuff. To the two Brits here, what is your opinion of what's going on with the Royals right now? Do you give a shit at all?
I haven't really been paying attention, if
Okay.
I'm being honest. I'm sure other people are, because I know people who are like really into the royal family, but I'm not.
But is
that
it like,
bothered.
is it really like a big thing for you guys? Like at
Um,
all? Has it ever been?
I'm sure it has been for some people. I don't know. Maybe my generation is the wrong generation to ask, because I don't think 19-year-olds care about the royal family as much as like 30-year-olds. But
Right.
that's a stereotype.
I don't
know.
know. I mean, I was under the impression that the Royals were more or less done at this point, and that it was like that they were just going to phase them out, because it was just like, well, we're not really doing anything. We have prime ministers and all this other junk. Like,
The way I see
Yeah.
it
we're
is
only kind of
the royal
here.
family is the royal family. The way I see it is like mostly for like touristy stuff.
Yeah, that's kind of what has come to my understanding of the royal family, and it's like kind of like they don't really have anything else other than that now.
I think they do
Right.
do a lot of work for the people, the presentation, do a lot of charity work, a lot of goodwill
Oh
stuff.
yeah, I've heard that. Yeah.
But I'm in my early 30s and haven't really paid too much attention to the Royals. I get the impression it might be something like the younger generation, like the 18, 19-year-olds might be interested in, but it's certainly not the 30-year-olds.
There you go. No one's interested.
All right. Okay. Because I'm curious. I'm just curious because like since I'm half, right, and it's really weird because my dad doesn't care, but my mom does, and like I'm hearing about it like every single day of just like videos of like there's just like videos of people being like, oh, this the one that married the one prince that was like the American actress, and they were just like, oh, like the disgrace and all this stuff, and and like and then like when like the when Prince, what's his name? The one that died recently.
I only know Harry.
Prince Andrew.
Prince, what's his nose?
Yeah, that guy. Yeah, like the Queen's husband. Prince Andrew. Yeah.
Isn't that a king?
He died. And, no, he's
no.
No.
He didn't make it
because he's not. He's technically like You don't upgrade from there. I think if I'm correct.
Congratulations.
You've
made it
goes
to Prince. That's where the line ends here.
Well, I mean, like if you're a princess marrying a prince, it upgrades to being king and queen. But if queen is the main leader of that country, it only goes up. Like queen, then you get prince.
Oh, maybe.
And considering of how much you've got two people who are maybe not affected as much by the royals. I'm gonna say your name is Thea. It could be Theola. I don't know your
Yeah,
full
just call me
name.
Thea. Just call me Thea.
Yeah. But she referred to the Queen's late husband as Andrew. That's her son. It's Prince Philip, who recently died.
Yeah, that's what I thought. It was
sorry.
like
That's how much I don't care. That's how much I don't care.
Yeah.
Exactly. I'm not thinking Andrew, really? But she's going through a really rough time at the moment.
Philip, Andrew, James, George. It's all the same name. It's chill.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Prince, what's his nose?
That answers a lot of my questions then. So. Yeah, because the only people I know that are interested are like my grandma and like my mom, and like who's not even British. So it's
you know of.
No, it's definitely not British.
This could be wrong, but from my perspective, I think that's honestly what it is. I think there's more Americans interested in the royal family than there are British people interested in the royal family.
I think it just depends on your upbringing, to be honest.
Yeah, true. I remember like watching the wedding with like Kate and is it Philip again? I don't know what it was.
No, Philip was the Queen's husband.
Philip was a...
They could have renamed the son Philip. They do that sometimes. So it's just like King George the First, King George the Second.
Right.
Anyway.
I think Kate's son is.
It was
George
Harry and William.
Something. Yes.
Yeah, William. Okay, so Kate and
William.
Yeah, I watched their wedding when I was a kid, and I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. I like her dress.
Yeah. And then Harry married the American actress, and then everyone's in a tizzy about that, and everyone's just
the
like,
thing is, I remember reading like that everybody. For some reason, everybody hates, the American woman, but there isn't. Why? She's done nothing wrong.
Because they're like, oh, it's too woke culture, and they're just calling everything woke culture and all this stuff. And although to be fair, they did get like a deal with like Netflix or something, and a lot of like the British taxpayer money goes to them, which in my opinion is kind of weird because that's just how the royals I think work anyways, which is why I thought they were phasing out royals in general, because they were like, well, I mean, you guys are just taking our tax money, like fuck off.
The world is increasingly changing.
My critiques.
More
I'll see you
rapidly
guys.
changing.
I'll probably be back.
British are tired of Americans taking it.
Bye, Fiowl.
I couldn't follow any of that. Bye.
But yeah, I think it's the world is increasingly changing, especially since the internet age. So yeah.
All right. But yeah,
it really depends on your background, how involved you are.
Americans taking everything from Britain. You know?
I was just very curious on like what the Brits' point of view was.
First, we took their colonies, then we took more of their colonies, and then
there's many Brits. The only thing that could make a Brit angry though is we still haven't. I mean, I'm not too involved in the royals and the history, etc. But it still makes a British guy angry that Americans could spoil tea in such a fashion. Like,
oh yeah. We haven't paid it.
What?
Well,
are you not entertained?
You know. Yeah.
And it's weird to me that you got so mad about that. It's just leaves in a bag, man. Clearly you have more.
Clearly he's Canadian.
Clearly he's not Japanese.
Being in Canada, I'll randomly hear cup of tea, and I'm like, what the hell? So yeah, a lot of people use.
Ryan would get mad if we chopped down a tree without draining its syrup first.
I don't care. I would get mad because you chopped down a tree. Period. I don't care about the syrup.
It's the maple milks.
I've never had maple syrup. Most people haven't, because real maple syrup it has a black market.
You don't know, say?
They have a black market, really?
Yes.
Whoa.
Real maple syrup. Real maple syrup is the stuff you get in a glass bottle for $30.
Cartel.
I've had some in a restaurant. I put on my breakfast.
Just to know that your avocados is ran by the cartel.
Steven's part of the cartel.
Huh. Makes sense.
I'm from Chicago. Yeah. So my name's Barry, not Steven. So,
Barry?
Barry.
Okay, well, your name says Steven, so we're gonna call you that.
His name is Barry.
It's a lie.
Change your nickname if you wanted to change. You can.
It's my alter ego.
Barry, I am.
You could just write it and change it.
What is this blasphemy? What kind of sorcery is this you speak of?
I'm gonna remember you as Barry, and one day we'll meet, and then it'll be like Steven or something.
Oh,
It'll be like, what the fuck?
I'm Barry, I am.
That does sound like a very good Chicago accent.
Indeed. Thank you. I practice it every day.
What does this sound like, yes?
Right before brushing my teeth.
Does this accent bring fear into your hearts?
No, it sounds like a racist.
No. A racist? Well, kinda, I guess. If consider Russians racist.
Bruh.
So,
Yet.
is Peter also a gamer?
Possibly.
Cool.
Who's that?
You're not sure yet.
You sounded
What is your new name?
You sounded really defensive about that.
What does he know?
He knows. He knows too much.
Who's asking? What is it to you of what I do in my free time?
Yeah, what is... No, I might do game because it has more emphasis on camera and stuff. I might want to do previs stuff also.
Cool.
They don't really teach on film. It's more.
Not really. It's more of acting. Yeah. You got one semester, right? At the end, Ryan, for games.
They are
a lot of cutscene action cuts. Which is
that's
a lot. We've done 2 assignments. One of them is a cinematic, and me working with Connor, I get to deal with exactly 1 camera cut.
I guess so. If you enjoy cameras, etc., then you probably also are exploring live action.
I have.
Cool.
But I will say, JP is a cinematic animator, so like, if you wanted to do camera work.
Yeah, didn't he work in like NPC and stuff or something like that?
Rhythm and Fuse. I noticed that his portfolio earlier.
Oh yeah.
Got some beautiful film work.
So he's a good teacher to have if you're wanting to mess with cameras.
He's the only teacher to have.
Well, I don't know about the film track. Maybe there's somebody on that side who's done camera.
Oh,
I've never done
most like animators in like the big studios don't touch the cameras at all, or maybe.
Oh, right.
No,
I'm saying, like, I don't know if
Cameras
there's
to
any of
watch.
those animators in the film track that used to do that. Like that was like a job that they had before or something.
There's like a layout artist or something.
Mm-hmm.
I just think it depends. The amount of time that animation takes to do the actual character work itself takes away from the camera use. But I swear you've got people like Luke Randall on a Friday evening. He's made his own short films in the past. Is a superb filmmaker. But how much? I mean, if he's only got 15 minutes or however long he's got per student on a Friday, how much time we can really explore and discuss his know-how of camera work is tricky. It's limited. Yeah.
Also, you get motion capture, which gives you experience for games and film.
That's true. Yeah, learning how to deal with mocap was probably the most valuable thing I got out of this whole course. Like,
yeah, that's
for sure.
And Creed. Actually, the second class, that's where all the juice was. Because the first class was like redoing a bunch of stuff that I already know how to do and picking up a few extra skills. And this last one is like more advanced animation. Character interaction is like, it's good exercises, but it's not directly new skills.
The second one, I would say, is definitely probably the best.
It's where you get creatures and mocap. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that you just don't pick up really anywhere else.
Also, I feel like a lot of junior positions focus a lot more on body mechanics over the facial acting. Facial, I feel like, comes a little bit later.
Yeah, I'm leaning more and more away from faces the longer I'm spending like in animation. It's like all those demo reels and all those acting stuff where it's like it's mostly static camera just showing somebody emoting. I'm like, cool. I'm gonna look somewhere else now. They don't have any magic for me. I like the stuff where totally silent. You're just flipping all over the place, like combat scenes, action scenes, fighting games. Just watch them fight for a while. You're like, oh.
Do you see the new David Hahn video on his Vimeo account of a Horizon Dawn tribute?
There's a new one?
Yeah, so an animator called David Hahn, he does beautiful. I mean, I'm sure you'll recognize his work if you've seen many fighting demo reels, but David Hahn, so David and then H-A-N for November, look up his work, and yeah, his camera work is just freaking insane. So, yeah.
Yeah,
I remember that.
I come from like a hobby of photography also, so like, I like composition and all that stuff.
Definitely. That's again why I said with the traditional skills, whether you're a filmmaker, also like I think there's actual previous courses out there, but how good they are depending on who's teaching it, I don't know.
That's why I'm looking mostly at the mocap because that's probably where most of the skills you need for previs comes from.
I really wanted to.
I
really wanted to learn more about cinematics and cameras than I have in this class. I definitely wanted to work with somebody else because I work better in a group, somebody to like bounce off of. But yeah, I'm ending up with a more limited experience for it, just because of the coincidence of what we ended up picking. You know.
It really, I mean, mocap though, it really depends what you do with it. I think I've said before on I worked at Double Negative. It was used on Venom as a first pass, exploring what the monsters were how they were gonna fight, how they were gonna choreograph. The previs I've done, which was on Lion King, that was all keyframe. So yeah, it's just trying different things and but places like Third Floor, I think there's an LA studio, there's one in London, they do beautiful camera work. It's probably a place to aim for.
Yeah, I just have to make it through the first few classes first.
All right, guys, I'm a dip. Bye
Also gonna
bye.
post
Toodles.
something. I think this is done in Unreal in game class. It's when they use mocap and just to recreate a deleted Clone Wars scene.
Definitely. The good thing with the mocap is it gives you a fast first pass, which, as I said, if you're going to keyframe everything, so you go through a feature course, the amount of hand keying you need to do there before anything actually works at all is crazy. Whereas having a mocap giving you that first pass allows you to spend a higher amount of time, higher proportion of time, focusing on other things like camera work, etc. So yeah, cool. Yeah, the JP's work there looked epic earlier. I googled him, I found his website, and yeah, his film work is beautiful. His game work is amazing. Fascinated with his history. He used to be in the armed forces, etc. He just seems a really diverse, amazing bloke. So he could be a great teacher.
Yeah, that's literally my goal, is to get into at least into the mocap one is done, and then go to him. Right now, just like getting the fundamentals down, because I was reading also that previs people look for solid fundamentals of animation. Like, yeah.
Everywhere that handles animation, look for the solid fundamentals, but then to what extent? So yeah, like a lot of places will pay, will train on the job, even VFX studios to a certain point, depending on how many people they need, and the length of the project may be so on the job. Game companies might train you in previs, on a mocap on the job. If it just hanky gives you some core skills and a foundation to work from. So, yeah.
Also, one of the biggest things I see is that just even comparing all the students here, animation school, Animschool, you see like how many, like 2 to 3 classes graduating every semester, while you get 1 per semester for games, and you have only 2 schools that do it online, and then like most of them focus on feature film, like Disney.
Yeah. How do you mean?
So if you look at Animschool, right, all the graduates, right, there's literally 1 game class every semester having a graduation class. However, you get like 3 or 4 for the feature film track.
Certainly. I mean, Animschool's focus seems to be on the two main avenues are the modelling side, because I guess it's Dave Gallagher's background, and the animation feature side. But then the strength of Animschool's gaming path is really, really, really well done. And yeah, some kick-ass stuff done in it. So
and there's only one other online school that does it too, and that's iAnimate that I know of.
No, there's also Animation Mentor. There's
Mentor at the very least does workshops. At the very least does
workshops. Do workshop. They do workshop, but they don't have Animation Mentor doesn't have like a track. They just use workshops.
For games.
Yeah, for games.
Yeah, they have a couple. Yeah, it's definitely more like take at your leisure, but that's because I think the market is more for film, because everybody wants to go do that more. It's a lot sexier.
Yeah,
but I think also just games online courses are just still new, because even technically, these film online courses are still relatively a new concept. They only came out like in the last 5 years.
It feels like is virtual production. That's a huge thing coming up.
Yeah, it's also, I guess, the advancements in console or gaming engines, etc. Game mechanics are creating creating an emphasis. You've got more feature people now going to gaming, so that's been pushed, etc. So yeah, the gaming courses are proving more and more popular, more and more advanced. But yeah, Animschool certainly does look to kick ass.
I gotta be right back. The bio break is starting to kick my ass.
I need to run away to the supermarket soon before the curfew shuts again. So
I still got curfew. My state's
you got curfew until the end of the week.
Mandate. Yeah, my state's about to take off the mask mandate.
Cool.
Friday, so
yeah, like those little victories are coming fast.
so, what else is coming fast is gonna go straight into the toilet. I'll be right back.
Thank you, sir.
Dude.
Beautiful. That was yeah. There I'm thinking of food, and I've got this beautiful image in my head. It's delightful. But Ryan, you said you're working in Japan. Did you work much in Canada beforehand, or?
I can't hear you. You're too echoey.
I'm sorry. Did you work much in Canada beforehand?
My whole life? I need more specifics on questions, man. I'm sorry. I can't answer really open-ended stuff.
Before you moved to Canada, before you moved to Japan, did you work in the industry for long, or did you go over to Japan to study and then fell into the industry?
Oh, okay.
No.
I graduated in I don't know what year. I graduated when I was 24. So I was in Canada working for about 6 years. But all of those 6 years were at one studio in Edmonton that was not making games or movies. They were making safety training videos and like VR stuff for heavy industry. But they traded employees with BioWare a lot because it was Edmonton. So it was basically run as a game studio. We just made stuff for a different end client, and none of it was allowed to be fun.
Oh dear. So you need some fun? Let's move to Japan, and then.
Well, I want to tell stories. Like I said it in the mock interviews and to a bunch of people, but like the reason I quit that place was because like I wanted to make games, and I played Xenoblade 2 over a Christmas break, and it took 3 weeks, and then I was lethargic at work for the next 2 weeks to the point where everybody noticed it because that hit me in such a heavy and emotional way, and it shocked me to be like, yo, I'm not making games. I've wasted 6 years of my life doing not what I want to do.
Also, to add on top of that, Steven, you could go from cycles into feature film, which is pretty much what game animation's all about.
I mean, the benefit of the gaming stuff as well is, I've seen people in TV studios. So I've worked for 7 years now. TV, feature, VFX. Those who come from a gaming background have such a big strength often have such a big strength in mechanics, depending on which gaming studios they've worked at. And because the timing is played with to feel nice rather than simply going for the realistic, it can help provide a better understanding of spacing, timing. You encourage that much more to play with it because you're looking for something that feels nice. And in whichever sector you work in, whether it's games, whether it's feature, etc., yes, something can look realistic, but can be boring. It still needs to feel nice. And yeah, gaming, that's number one. Depending on the style of the game, the emphasis, what they're looking for is, does this feel nice to play?
Yeah, I see what you mean. It's like you have to show anticipation and all that really quickly in games, so it feels interactive. So you have to push it and make it feel like that. And then in film, it's like you just take that over and like run with it much harder.
We can just shoot video reference and rely on that. Whereas with gaming, because it's how fast the player presses a button and how fast you want the character to react, you're that much more naturally, again, depending on what style you work on, are going to be playing more with spacing, timing, etc. than you are if you're an animator who likes to shoot video reference, follow it, and like what the computer is offering you rather than what feels good.
Also, you get creature animation, which is hugely like pushed away, I guess, in most of these online schools.
Yeah, you know.
I'm taking off.
I mean,
I'll talk to you guys later.
See ya.
Joy. Body mechanics in the feature route, you hit the dog walking pretty early, and that alone, if done really really well, can give you the foundation to switch into VFX. So yeah.
Yeah, I did a lion, I think, walk a few months ago.
Yeah, I had a mate, James Bowen. He did a lion sit. He did a panther sitting down and a walk, and that was enough to get him onto Jungle Book. He then went on to Weta, did some amazing things there. But that's simply all he needed. A lot of people will be like, "Oh, I need this fantasy element. I need this. I need that." But no, if you can look at a piece of reference, really understand how the mechanics are broken down, then that's enough to get you onto a show like Lion King, etc. So yeah, I think there's just so much to learn in animation, and I wouldn't say the features just pushed away. Animals are pushed, or creature stuff is pushed away, because you can always go down the creature route, what you hit, mechanics.
I was just saying that I don't see many online schools actually focusing it. Like,
it depends which pathway you go.
I only see I don't know.
That's where
everyone wants to do characters. That's probably what it is.
That is probably where many people start at their journey.
That's the easiest thing to learn. It's what everybody wants to do. It's the most competitive. It's like that's another reason why I'm like, you don't have to just stick with what got you into it in the first place, because there's other places you can go where you'll still get to learn. You'll still find it fulfilling. It's just stuff that you didn't think about until you get in and you see how many other branches there are.
Yeah, it's knowing what's right for you. So at the moment, I'm on a technical show at NPC. I know that I'm sickeningly passionate about character stuff, and that's been proven over time, and my interests have sustained. It is indeed experiencing different things and finding out what makes your heart tick. For you, as I said, you found tech art, I think you called it, and you loved it. It's having the right people find what works for you. Sorry if that sounds.
I see what you're doing, but I was just gonna show my catwalk I did, if you're interested. This is me self-teaching. Do you see it? I don't know. You have to let me know. It's working properly. The stream.
Okay. What stream?
Discord. It should be live. Do you see cat?
This is an iAnimate rig?
No, this is just a general rig. But am I sharing?
You are.
Okay, yeah, alrighty. This is my walk. This was my first attempt at catwalk. Literally, catwalk.
Okay, I really don't want to work with Riker anymore right now. I gave him some more breakdowns, but I don't want to do the spline transition yet because I haven't even been awake for 2 hours. So let's go muck around with some dust in Unreal.
Cool.
Ooh. This is the real I applied with. Put me in class 2.
Cool. I think your lift and your push are probably the two strongest pieces I'm seeing on this build so far.
They're one of my latest ones, that's why, before I apply.
Yeah. Your creature one, of course, after working on creatures through Lion King, etc., there's certain things yeah, you can instantly point out. But yeah, there's some. I like the diversity. It's yeah, and as I said, your weight ones are probably your strongest pieces at the moment. Your two big mechanical pieces.
Yeah, hopefully I can pass it here because they were like, yeah, you need to learn to polish your shit more. All right, let me.
Yeah, yeah, that's the one thing that will separate you from others is when somebody looks at your reel, how well does he understand the weight of a creature or etc. But with the lion itself, it's finding reference from all different angles.
Yeah.
There are set things that work in a lion walk, but yeah, it's pinning it down. So you, even like on your front view, you've got sliding side to side happening on the feet. They're translating in and out when they're on the ground, which is throwing me. But this, I mean, go to general reviews, even for your gaming stuff. Luke Randall is freaking amazing. Hans, if you is another one. So Hans teaches on a Tuesday morning for me at 9 o'clock. That's Eastern time. So what is that?
Oh, Hans. Yeah. Wait, Hans.
Yeah, Hans. Hans is freaking amazing. Like just
9 a.m. Tuesday. I would have to. That's literally when I'm working.
Cool. Luke teaches. So you're Eastern time as well.
Yes. Right now I do a lot of Eric and Taryn.
Cool.
I think Taryn does a really good job.
Yeah, Taryn's brilliant. He's working at NPC with me at the moment.
Oh, nice.
I can't say what he's working on, but yeah, I think he's one of the supervisors here at the moment. Yeah. But he's great at being picky. His straw rovers are pretty damn sweet. Yeah. But Luke
I like Luke.
Is amazing. You look at how many people. His biggest problem is how many people attend his Friday night class because it's usually packed the hell out. So, but yeah, he's pretty amazing. And Jason on a Saturday morning has pretty sweet mechanical understanding. Who did you say are the two you go to? Eric and.
So I only do Eric and Taryn because those are the times. Because
Definitely.
A lot of the class interferes. You know, like my class is Friday, Sunday.
Yeah, Eric's pretty solid as well.
Yeah, I think Eric does good, like general notes. And then Taryn like picks apart my thing more and gives me more like here is how it should be this way, more specific. And I like his drawings also. He draws it to a point where like he's more visual, so like he draws out like the spine, the curve, and all that. I'm like, oh, I understand this because I was doing some gesture drawing stuff.
Definitely, like he's pretty sweet. When I was attending Animschool a few terms ago. He's one I would also go to on a Sunday morning just to listen to. So I would go to many during the week. Some people just turn up and listen, and to run with one of those, I would switch on just to hear the man talk. So yeah, it's pretty sweet.
Is badass. The general review I'm in right now, the person put his Dauntless reel in. So like the game Dauntless. Yeah.
Okay.
So it's a creature animation. I'm like, oh, I know all that stuff.
So this is in a general review at the moment?
Yeah, it's in the general review. Eric is doing.
Eric's class is earlier than he used to teach. Eric was 9 o'clock on a Tuesday. He's now a bit earlier. But cool. He's pretty. No, Eric was 9:30, so he's moved an hour and a half prior. But yeah, he's pretty damn sweet. He's pretty damn awesome. Who knows? We'll get with him next year. Sorry?
He's self-taught, Eric, right?
I don't know. I know he's been in the industry for quite a while and worked on some amazing projects, different styles, etc. But I don't know where he learnt animation.
Never mind, I see what's happening. The guy's using Dauntless Real as a reference, I think. That's probably what's happening. I was about to say, a Dauntless person is here asking for feedback. That'd be so badass.
That's a great thing about some schools. So I attended last year to, even though I've been working for 6 years, I'm like, you know what, I need this. I need this piece to work to open up a different door, and that door was getting me into Migros. So I worked in Paw Patrol, and yeah, it's you get a mixed bundle in school. Some have little experience, some have quite a lot, but everyone's just looking to push and learn. It's a great environment to be part of.
What's up? I left to get coffee.
Yeah. I'm a passionate tea man, but I don't understand coffee people. So bitter. So
I like tea and coffee some.
Tea, okay, well, so to me, tea is just scented water. Not even flavored water. Right. I cannot taste it. It's scented water.
COVID.
You're talking to a British. No, you're talking to a Chicago person who's very passionate about his tea. So
you just shit talked coffee. I'm returning it.
I'm sorry.
You're in our world now.
I hate coffee so much. It's very good, but yeah. I need to disappear because I need to go and get some food to cook for this evening. So supermarket closing in 40 minutes, so I must disappear.
Oh wow, yeah. This call emptied out pretty quick. Now that I'm looking at the amount of people left.
Yeah. I'm going to do so as well. But lovely to meet you both.
Right. I think we talked a little bit before.
I talk a lot. But it surprised me.
You were here a while.
I don't. People have questions for me, but I'm a very quiet, sort of focusy type of person. Unless I'm streaming a game.
Quiet.
Like if I'm in talking mode, which is hard to get me into. Yeah, I'm big.
Arguments.
That's a way to get me to talking mode. If I'm in focus mode, or like if other people are talking and I'm trying to do something, like I am not good at interjecting. I'm just kind of, all right, I'll be over here. I'll do me for a while.
Unless it's the argument. Arguments are fantastic with you, right?
I have been told that I'm pretty good at making a case and an opinion, regardless of whether or not you agree with it.
Yeah. I feel like for me, I'm good with like analogies to get people's ideas. I remember at work, they're like, "Oh, wow, that's a great analogy," multiple times.
You're not you both.
Just waiting for my review. Probably head out after that.
Sure thing. Well, if anybody wants to just continue, you know what? Not continue anything, but I'm working in Unreal on Dust stuff. If you want to like still see what it is that I'm working on in Unreal or in Maya, I'm streaming.
Sure. Let me just open it up. I like VFX also, so I'm more than happy to see.
Yeah, me too. Tech art has gotten me involved in shaders and VFX, so it's like, cool. This is another place where I can experiment.
Houdini. It's so complex, but it's so fun.
I'm not interested in Houdini. Maybe at some point if somebody points me at it, I'll do it, but right now there's so many other things I want to learn.
Yeah, you got a lot on your plate. You got Japanese, Unreal, animation.
Exactly. I need to do Python, Unreal, and Japanese. Those are the first 3. And then so maybe at some point I need to pick up Blender so that I can stop relying on free Maya licenses.
Well, at least they got indie now, which is like $250. I don't know about if it's open in Japan.
They got what?
They got indie license Maya. It's $250 a year.
Yeah, so if I really have something that I want to do in my off time, like that might be worth it.
The secret is get your right before you graduate, get your little certificate of proof and just re-register for Maya for another year.
I actually just did that like 2 weeks ago.
Oh, nice.
So I'm already pretty good. I renewed it on the same license.
I love that.
Okay, so yeah, so no, the issue that I'm running into now with these VFX, with these dust particles, is like, I'm used to working with traditional particle systems. Like, I think in Unreal it's called it's called Cascade. But now, these new particles that I got that I'm trying to modify are based on, like, the Niagara system, which is entirely different, and I have no idea what I'm doing with it.
There is one... I forgot what's it called, but there's like literally a particle for real time, specifically, like tool. And I had to look it up. No, it's not that.
Yeah, so Niagara has so many more fucking variables to it.
Ah, that's what it's called. Popcorn FX. You got epic mega grants too.
What's up, David?
Hey, how's you guys' shots coming?
Everybody's so quiet.
Going to review some just in line right now.
Dude, I went to the one this morning. I got destroyed.
Oh shit! Maybe I should do that. Maybe I should take my shot to review.
That's a good idea, dude.
Because, like, this shot is really more of a little cinematics thing. When is it? Who is it?
Right now it's Eric.
Eric
There's
Coyne.
10 people. Yeah.
Wait, is it? Oh, is it already lined up?
Yeah, but I think with 10 people, you might still be able to get fit in.
Yeah. 10... They get 90... How many minutes they do? Times
3 hours.
100, yeah, 180 minutes. 10. You got... Yeah, they might be able to fit you in, yeah. If you just jump in.
Alright,
how's your shot coming, Peter?
I'll go do that.
I kind of... This weekend, like, I just kind of slacked a bit after finishing off my blocking. But today...
reopen Maya.
Today it's... I guess it's going well. It's beginning of Spline, so I just feel like in the beginning of Spline, you just don't know what the hell's happening. It just looks...
What? Is yours a mess right now?
It feels messy, yeah. That's kind of what I'm going to review. It's just like, hey, I'm doing only body and legs and head right now. Not even touching the arms.
Okay. Yeah, I'm dealing with a lot of arms right now. It's so many fucking problems.
Yeah, I'll deal with arms after I get this core down. I just don't even want to pay attention to it. I want to get at least that part down this week, so then I could pretty much arms is like secondary action.
Did he already play with your Maya file or not yet?
No, not yet. I only did 2
do you know?
files.
Do you know how he's choosing who?
He says if you want to, you ask him.
Otherwise, he's just going randomly.
Next week. Yeah, I'm gonna ask him for next week probably.
Yeah, I want to do next week too because I still know what I need to do. I want to do it to where I don't know what I want to do, where I have to do.
Yeah, I want to get a little bit. I want to kind of explore Spline myself a bit more, and then like be like, hey, this is where you're fucking up.
Mm-hmm.
And see how he would work from my point.
Oh god, fucking Maya, come on!
I forgot what place I'm in. I think I'm after Cindy.
You're so slow!
Gotta download more RAM.
Good lord, that took a long time to load.
That's kind of why I like the idea of Blender, because their code is actually clean.
Using it is awful though,
bloated.
and it's not good for animation. That's terrible. I've heard that Blender is great for a whole lot of good things, and like, hey, if you're just doing modeling or texturing and all that kind of, like, you can work in it. I like that you can paint directly on the 3D model or on the texture within the same program. That's pretty sweet. But like, I have never heard anybody say Blender is a great animation tool, and that's my primary concern.
That's why I'm hoping that a large sum of money is going to go to use that. AWS gave to Blender, specifically for animation tools. So that's probably a couple years away. Not even following you. Oh wait, that's why I'm not following you. I'm not even signed in. Pretty sure I followed you.
Oh fuck, there's no keyframe here? Why is there no keyframe there?
Bang,
Right.
bang.
Then I guess I'll
Bang,
just
bang.
do that. Thank you for the follow.
Yeah, I realized I wasn't even followed, but my friend bought me a subscription for you, so I could give you one beer. Hell yeah, brother. Hell yeah, brother.
I love that emote. Almost as much as I love the poppy wave.
Got it. Hell yeah, brother.
Yeah, brother.
Hell yeah, brother.
You know what I mean, brother?
I've been a subscriber longer than I was a follower.
That's really unusual.
Well, that's why I said remember when I was telling you? My friend gave me that sub. To you. After he figured out it was me.
Yeah.
Which I think.
Okay, I need this thing's translate keys. Hey, what do you know? They're
Palestine is there. Oh, there he is. Tim. Is that you, Tim?
Oh yeah. Palisade's are pretty
There.
regular in these streams.
I know him from college.
I appreciate him hanging out.
All these nicknames make me get confused really quickly. That's literally why I keep Polsky Pete as much as possible on every platform, so if you know me somewhere, you'll know me in every platform.
I use Kuuribro pretty much everywhere.
Also easier to remember because it's because my name's Peter. I just go Polsky Pete.
Okay, so
I
I
already
need
got most of my real name.
I need Animschool. I'm gonna go sign up for this thing. I don't have anything online yet, but I can do that in a minute. Alright,
Yeah.
so where is it? General classes.
Eric, you'd be on the first one. If you click dashboard, you'll see the general classes. You'll be the first one, 8:15 p.m.
Eric Wong. Alright, sure. I'll give that a look. Can I just launch the Zoom meeting, or do I have to like sign up for it somehow?
I'll just launch it. When you click it, it'll put you into the line.
Okay. So I'll do that, and I'm just gonna mute myself. If he asks, like, I'm muting myself because I'm also on stream. If he gets to me, I'll end the stream.
Yeah, you got a long ways.
Yeah, so I just mean, like, if he's looking through the list or if he asks about me and I don't respond, can you just say it's because I'm muted?
Yes, I don't know if I'll be here 2-3 hours from now. Yeah. Well, he does reviews pretty quickly.
Well, I mean, I've got another hour and a half on stream, so if he doesn't get to me by then I guess it'll be okay.
I think it'll be perfectly fine.
Oh, no, get that out of the way. Get that, no, can't show that, can't show that.
Yeah, it's a new pop.
So I'm just gonna keep that kind of small down in the side there for now. I'll join it later. I'm trying to do a play blast right
do
now.
this. Yeah. I realized that like the play blasts have such a huge file size that I just throw into like DaVinci and just compress it. and get all the
I
quality.
put a handbrake pass on it.
I don't know exactly what that means. So you're gonna have to.
Handbrake is a re-encoder software. It's small, free, open source.
DaVinci is free too, which is fantastic. It's pretty much a better Premiere.
From what I've heard, no. I've heard people can use DaVinci, but they don't want to, they don't like to, or they keep all the good options behind a paywall.
for what I need. It's all the files, shit.
I have an old license of Premiere, and that's what I know how to use, so it's fine.
Yeah, that makes sense. DaVinci is used a lot in freaking color grading. That's what their market is. And their damn cameras are fantastic for the price of shit. I've used one of the classes is one of the more expensive classes.
I actually can't hear you anymore, man. You are really, really quiet.
Hello? Yeah, I was stretching.
Like, I have music at 10-15%, and you at 150, and you're, like, going way below the music.
Yeah, it's because I was stretching and going really far away. Like that. But, yeah. I forgot what I said, which doesn't matter then.
Oh, did David already bounce?
Yeah, he bounced really quick. He's probably at work.
I can't follow all that. I can't follow what everybody's saying because so many people say things so damn quiet and over each other. Dude, as somebody who's been doing YouTube and Twitch videos for years, like, people's audio quality really gets under my skin. It's something that I put a bunch of time into, and that most of my friends put some amount of time into. So when somebody's voice is really low, I'm just like, alright, immediate QA mode. Like, fix that shit.
How's mine in general? Because I've worked, not long, but decent amount.
For you, it's really hard to tell because your voice just is not a presentation voice. Like,
It is really not.
I'm not attacking you, but based on the way that you speak, you kind of have a really low, like, kind of not necessarily throaty, but it's like just above the volume where your voice is making your throat's making any volume. There's no projection to the way that you're speaking, you know? There's no diaphragm. There's no, like, carry distance. It's very, very quiet.
It's usually when I do my impressions where I actually project. Besides that, just lazy talk.
So in general, it's really hard to judge anybody's quality when their voice, the very first part of it, is not presentation ready.
How dare you say such a thing?
See, that's much easier to hear.
Yeah, that's exactly what I meant. When I go into presentation, I could go presentation mode, but that's not my default mode, you know.
And when you do YouTube, when you spend so much time making, like, entertainment stuff, it just kind of becomes your default when you're talking. It's like you can go into a different mode and you can, like, not be putting as much energy into it, but by default your voice you just sort of habitually speak louder. I'm a tiny guy. I have a loud voice because I've learned to try and speak for my diaphragm, and because I talk online for 6 years at this point.
6 years. Like I said, for me, it's like I can if I want to, but it's like it's me. Just usually, my voice is usually just as mellow as it gets, and everyone thinks that I was a stoner anytime I talked.
Yeah, I can get that.
It's like, do you smoke? I remember in high school, I'm like, nah.
Yo, man, this is gonna sound weird, but I really want to get to my shower today because I want to test out this new shampoo. My hair is really thin and hard to do anything with in the first place, and I've not been able to find any kind of Japanese hair care products that work for me because it's all formulated for, like, people who grew up in an entirely different part of the world. Like, they just have different skin and different hair than me. So,
I recommend conditioner if you wanna do.
I have
something.
tried a couple conditioners. They don't do anything for me either because it's different. It's formulated for different hair. So
I don't know. It makes sense.
I just picked up. It's not Head and Shoulders. It's a Japanese version of Head and Shoulders made by the same company. It's called HNS. It's still made for Japanese skin, but it's advertised as volumizing, and it's like close to the same formula. So I picked up a bottle of that and the conditioner, and I'm gonna try that. I'm gonna see how it works.
Nice. Which one do I use? She Moisture is the brand name. I don't know if you have that in Japan.
Never heard of it.
She Moisture, Japan.
Oh, once I'm done with Animschool, I'll get to start Near Replicant. I'm so excited. I'm using that as my reward.
This motivation. Yeah, I don't know. All I could do is Amazon Japan to see. That's just because that's all I know. There you go, let's see. Looks like you got some of them over there.
Add new material. Okay, yeah, so I gotta put it up to sync sketch and then I can add it from there.
Yeah. When I started doing my camera cuts and I threw it through DaVinci, I'm like, holy shit, the compression fucking Maya sucks.
Well, Maya's not compressing it by default, but like,
yeah.
I don't know anything about DaVinci. I feel like Handbrake is probably better for that specific purpose, just because that's its entire purpose is re-encoding and compression, and it's super lightweight. Yeah. So it took it took a file from 145 megabytes and dropped it down to 2.5, and it took about 2 seconds.
Yeah, I can't. I have so much fucking cores on my processor that like the render in DaVinci is like 2 seconds anywhere.
I don't, and it just happens in 2 seconds here. Yeah. Like I have a laptop. I have it's an MSI. It's a strong laptop, but Intel Core i7 8th gen. It's not a huge processor.
What's my processor? Is Ryzen 3 950X. So that's how many cores and threads? 16 cores, I think. Double check.
I'm gonna try
16 cores and 32 threads.
I'm gonna try to get another year out of this laptop here, and then it's gonna depend on what happens with a visa next year when I reapply. If they give me 3 years, then I'm gonna buy a desktop. I'm gonna get back to like having a powerful home machine, because I got a laptop specifically so I could take it to Japan and then didn't know what I was gonna be doing. So I'm like, I need a computer that I can take with me. But if I end up settling down here, then yeah. Then I'll have a powerful laptop that I can run stuff on when I need to go somewhere, but also like the home machine for my streaming, VTuber shit, like high renders, intense game engine work, that kind of thing.
Yeah, I just need to upgrade my graphics card so I can get RTX shit going.
I don't give a shit about RTX. Personally, graphics, I don't care. The graphics card I have in here is more than enough. I only care about, at this point, just the processor. Like, that's the only thing that's throttling me now. I can double the RAM in this thing, and I probably will sometime this year.
I wanted that because it's just, if I do any sort of virtual production, I'm getting, like, as close as render quality on real time would be nice.
I suppose, but like all that stuff just doesn't matter much to me. I open Unreal and the first thing I do is drop it down to medium level quality and look for as many post-processing effects to turn off as I can. Because I don't like all that stuff being on by default. I want to be in control of that and turn on what I need.
I agree with that, because fucking, I was like, why is this shit running so slow? I'm like, oh, it's probably fucking RTX is enabled, and I only have a 1080. When I say I only have a 1080 Ti, but like a 1080 Ti on RTX is like just barely pushing it. They like it's a second for this graphics card.
Buy a desktop or make a desktop? Probably buy, because I made my last desktop and it lasted me a long time. But I had the help of friends and of people who already knew what they were doing to help me put it together. I don't want to be in charge of the thermal paste situation myself.
I have a story from thermal paste. I got like the Corsair water cooler or whatever. I can't think of the words right now. And they're like, yeah, it's really good thermal paste. I put it and even go onto my processor. I'm like, why is it overheating? This is what's even sticky. I'm like, motherfucker. Everyone was saying how good it was, and it wasn't even doing shit for me. So
maybe you applied it wrong. Could be that.
The thing is pre-applied onto the heatsink, so it's supposed to, when you press it down, go onto the processor. But literally, when I took it off the processor, literally a line of thermal paste went through. Yeah, so I was like, screw it, I'm just gonna use my own thermal paste because this one might be too solid right now. Unless I take like a match so I can preheat it. But yeah, that's the thing with your own build ones, is that shit. Like, you're troubleshooting even after you build it, you're still trying to figure out what the hell is happening.
Recording in progress.
Yeah, I think that's all I got for you right now, Cindy.
I need to try and find a way to mute this. How do I mute the audio
clear?
coming in?
No, everything is super clear. Thank you.
Cool. Yeah.
Are you talking about the Zoom?
Good blocking pass. Keep going.
If you're on Windows, I just right-click the little sound saying, "Oh, yeah, I'm about to go in."
Pete.
Okay.
Hey, Pete.
Okay, I turned it on, but now I'm trying to mute it. So I guess I'll mute it from the sound.
Yeah. Now I'm back. Give me a second. Eric, I have to turn on volume again.
No problem.
Just need to find it. It's hiding.
There, got it. All right.
There it is. Hello. Yeah, there we go. I had to mute it. I was just working with some.
All right, cool. Sorry, I got the Zoom meeting up here, so I'll be able to see when he brings up my piece. By the way, guys, when it's time for my Zoom meeting, I'm just gonna drop the stream immediately. All right, so heads up. I have about another hour in me, so I'll quit then. But if I get called up to the review before then, I'm gonna drop straight away. Stop taking. All right, so that's Maya. So I'm gonna save this again, and then I'm gonna get back to Unreal and keep working on this dust. I'm working on something this morning that's not super interesting, but like it's stuff that needs to be done. Excuse me. Because I need to figure out how to get this dust looking nice. That's right, I'm gonna zoom on out of here. You got it right. Also, I'm gonna turn off this camera. Nah, camera's fine, I guess. I was getting really self-conscious because I haven't shaved in a while, but it's alright. Alright, so I need to work with this dust. I've got a couple iterations, or a couple versions of this dust running in the scene here. Let's close viewport 2 so we get a little bit more power out of this. So you can kind of see over there in the left-hand side, that dust poofing up there, that's what I'm working with. So I need to iterate on this dust to make it last longer. Because right now it's just like, this. I'm modifying this based off of a footstep VFX, and I need to change it into something that feels more like this sort of billowing cloud that pops up when this coffin is opened. Which means I need to figure out how to use Niagara. Like, there's too many fucking things in this, man. Are you for fuck? Oh my god! Are you fucking serious with me now? This is all done in blueprints? With a script? I didn't sign up for that. I did not sign up for this. Why is there geometry? The hell is a shape trim? Why is that a thing? Okay, you know what? No, I don't want any of this. Get rid of this geometry folder. Just get rid of it entirely. Yes. Don't care if it's in the demo. Get rid of it. I don't want these extra assets. They're just gonna confuse me. Unreal takes forever to delete things, so... Were you not listening when I said delete the folder? For fuck's sake. Folder. Gone. Go away. Don't want any of those environment assets either. You're gone. Yes, get rid of it. Sorry, I'm also turning on the fan. You guys are gonna get a hum now, and I can't help that. Yep, I'm fine with that. Get rid of all of them. Add that to pending deletes. Okay, well, I can't. Okay, fine, then don't add things to pending deletes. Just get rid of the environment assets. Will you stop telling me about this shared data cache? I don't care. This is Unreal on a good laptop. It's this fucking slow. Yep, just get rid of it. Get rid of it all. Now that should not have closed Niagara. That shouldn't affect the particles that I have here. Gotta go. Later, Garland. Thanks for coming to chill for a bit. You're gonna make me do this password even though I never closed Perforce? Oh my god! Just stay signed in, please!
Oh, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Ryan's stream.
Hoi, you back?
Yeah, I just did my review. So, surprisingly, I'm pretty on point.
Good, good.
I was like, I feel like I'm just gonna, like, you know, like that feeling when you spline is like, I don't know where I'm at right now.
I'm super struggling with these fucking particles. Or rather, with all the extra assets in it.
I wish I could help pretty newbie at Niagara myself.
There's so much shit in it. I opened up one of these like each of these particle effects is made up of like 2 or 3 sub-particle effects, and trying to open those is opening an entire blueprints graph. That is long. I'm like, this cannot be right. There's no way. All of this shit is going into making a footstep puff.
I think it's because they want more I can't even say the word, just more program features in the particles so they can do like how they did in the demo for Unreal 5, where they could like literally have AI on the bugs.
That demo makes me mad. That's where everybody's going. What everybody thinks is impressive. Because I look at that and I'm just like, nobody needs this. Nobody asked for this. You're making everything harder to chase something that nobody wants.
I think they have a huge focus in virtual production. That's probably like they've shifted so much into AAA and virtual production. They want as much detail because you're gonna have like 20 people working on the same stuff, like feature animation where you have like 40 plus animators.
I really don't like when something is this crazy specialized and detailed.
Yeah, I think that's the thing. Is like there's so much out of the box, but there's like it's so hard to like tone back because they just like they pretty much did the Maya, just packed as much as they could into as little as possible.
Like, unless you're already an expert, you can't understand any of this.
That's why you get a job if you do. That's why they have Unreal
Specialists in technical art, just because you know Unreal. Yeah, I think it's because of their focus and more of AAA. Also, I don't know if they're gonna be updating it as much because they're probably putting so much effort into UE5 probably.
No, man, I'm absolutely on the camp that's like, just... I hate all of this. Give me something stylized and cartoonish and like that has an actual art direction besides just real.
Have you done any stylized tutorials for Unreal, for VFX?
Not for VFX. I've looked up a couple of things on shaders.
Yeah, they should probably... Like, I know how complex this is because I touched it before and just like, oh my god, here we go.
Look, I'm trying to understand how some of these things work, and it doesn't give you any information. There's an overload of options and nothing that actually explains it. There's a thing in here called sphere location, and I'm like, what sphere? And it doesn't show you anything.
Yeah, probably taking like, I don't know if there's a good Niagara tutorial. There probably is. It just seems so complex. It's like Houdini. Like, to do anything really nice in Houdini is just like, here's a few hour tutorial. Now you have fire. Alright, Niagara.
Like, cool, I just figured out how to change where one part of this is being spawned, but I still don't know what the fuck you mean by sphere. You're not showing me a sphere.
This the guy that does all the VFX, or is this the other guy? Well, like when you get to know it, it's pretty insane what people make.
Cool, I found out a way to show boxes that get bigger. That's still not showing me the sphere.
Is that the sphere in the center? The yellow one?
No. That's bounds. That's getting bigger as the particle scales up. That's not what I want. I want this thing over here that's called sphere location.
Move the sphere and see what happens.
I know what happens. It moves. That's not the point. I want to be able to see it. Like, I want to see the mechanical thing that I'm moving. I don't just want to see the effect it has on the visual particle. Calculate size by mass. It's so fucking, it's dust! You don't need that! Oh, unless you were entirely created with that in mind, and if I turn it off, then everything breaks. Yeah, I bet that's how it is.
Genius.
Yeah, realistic art styles... No, scratch that. It's not that they rarely, they never age well.
That's what gives them more money. Gotta keep making new ones.
They're aging better nowadays just because you're getting closer and closer to reality, except that you're always going to be able to find some little piece that's like, that doesn't look right, that just looks a little weird. As soon as something comes out that's better, you start seeing the flaws in the old thing.
The secret is to close your eyes. Problem solved.
I can't.
I feel like they're trying to do node-based animation style or VFX style, but it's just not node-based.
Did I not show you this? Look what happens when I actually double-click this, or like when I open up one. I can't even get at it anymore. Excuse me, that's not what I wanted. Go back, please. So that brings me to just this individual thing. Hold up. I know that if I double-clicked one of these things, I went into an insane node graph. And now it's hidden from me. Now when I want to show somebody how completely pointless this was, it won't show it anymore. Cool. I mean, I say completely pointless. They didn't make it because it's pointless. I just find it to be pointless. Yeah, I can't get there anymore. Cool. Alright, no, I mean this thing was like 300 nodes long.
To be honest, because I programmed before, like, I'd rather just see a line of codes.
Just show me the code. I don't need to see all the nodes.
Okay, so now where are you hiding the age? Something in here is telling you how long to make this.
Updates.
What?
Update age.
No. That's updating the thing based on its age. I'm looking for where to change the age.
Probably, maybe particle itself. Initialized particle.
As with everything, it's not very fucking clearly labeled. It's hidden in here somewhere, but I stress the word hidden. You'd think that something that's like how long you want the particle to be around. That'd be sort of top center. It's kind of critical to your particle.
I feel like check initial particle. If I had to do it, I would have set it up in my initial particle. It's a particle spawn, initialized particle.
Yeah, there it is. So, no, 2.25 to 0.5, God no. This needs to be like 2 to 5 seconds. This needs to be a long dust. So why is it doing that now?
I think because it might be too much velocity.
No. I'm talking about why it's like dissolving as it goes away.
Let me try to think back to my VFX days.
That's not just fading. that like these cards are actually getting smaller and not scaling. Like their visual is dissolving inward with the time that it's alive.
Article update, age, color, gravity, drag. Can you scroll down a little bit more?
Sub UV anime, get the fuck out of here with that! I want to turn these things off because they're making it harder to understand what's happening.
Can you just do the dirt splash really quickly?
Cool,
like-
but that's another thing that I can't turn off because the whole thing is built around it.
Well, no, I'm saying if you click the dirt splash little arrow thingy, right at the top of the name.
Yeah, no,
Just so you can see.
that's not the one that I'm talking about. The one I'm talking about is the dirt splash.
Yeah, so that's what I was saying. Like if you just narrow it down to that, you can see.
No,
where it's happening.
this is turning off an entire system. I know the difference between the dirt splash and the dirt linger. These are two different systems. They're just being combined into this bigger system.
Yeah. Emitter setting. I'm just trying to learn this as I go and be third person. Can you? How big is the project file?
I'm not sending you this. Get the fuck. Why do you have a camera offset? Why?
Sprite size scale.
No, that's just changing the scale. That's not what I'm talking about.
Is there like a overtime?
No, that's not what I'm talking about. That's what I was trying to say at first. This is not just the sprite getting bigger. What's visible in the sprite is literally dissolving away. Like they're running shader code over time on the sprite.
Then it might be sprite renderer.
Like I can't show it very well because this thing does not have a nice way to like go backwards in the preview. But you see these things right here? Okay, well for one they're fading as they get closer to the camera, which I don't love. But like as I move forward,
Might be part of the rendering. At the bottom, there might be a setting to do that. If they're adding shader, I would have put it under render.
yeah, do you see in that that far away sprite over here? It's getting smaller. It's like fading, but also the parts of it are. You know what? It might just be a fade, and it might be because of the way that the opacity's set up. Is it just no? It's not. It happened with the front one there.
Is it based on camera? Zoom into the last one over there with the camera.
No, it fades off as the camera gets closer. Yeah, you see with that one in the front, it's like dissolving from the edges.
Yeah, I see what you mean. If it's a shader thing, like I said, it'll be in the rendering. If it's camera based, that would be a whole different story.
This is so ridiculously overdone. This is a footstep puff. You don't need all this.
I kind of just want to pull up a Houdini thing to show you. Let me see if I can find the file. Color dust. Do I have bold ones up in this computer? Houdini month 1. Where's my helix? Dual mesh pro.
This is the type of stuff that tells me that like I'm not going to be a VFX artist, and I shouldn't chase it. Because getting into this level of finicky fine-tuning is just, like...
Oh,
Why?
Dude. I know exactly what you mean. That's kind of why I tried regular character animation. Is it the dual mesh? Ah, fucking hate Houdini's licensing.
I don't have a size available to me in the initialized particle either. All I have is this calculate size by mass. And if I don't want that, let me guess, it just completely goes away. Yeah, now I just can't see it at all. Or I can, but it's super, super tiny for God knows why. But there's no other place to, like, change it. So why do you have so many fucking parameters? Just let me change the size, man.
Oh, this is old. Mother. Give me this file. I want to see if this is the file. Oh yeah, no, like it's... I know exactly what you mean. It gets so nitty gritty. I'm gonna take Houdini, oh my god. At least it's clearer to see. Oh, this is the other one. Not the one I want. Custom. DNA, there it is. Oh, is that just the DNA or is it the ice read?
Like, I don't want to calculate it by the mass. I just want to set it fucking manually.
Yes, this is my animation. Ooh, yeah, here's the complex motherfucker. Work for you. Geo DNA. Here, I'm gonna share my screen really quickly if you're interested, just to see Houdini.
Dude, I'm really not. I'm sorry. I'm focusing on other shit. But sure, show me what you got.
Alrighty. Discord, share, screen 1, go live. It gets so detailed. So right now, this is built as a helix, so it's like a DNA strand, and it's appearing as the box pushes forward. Oh, that's so much information. This is what hurts my mind. Here's just this VFX thing.
Dude, that is tiny compared to the graph that I saw in this Niagara thing.
And each one has its own. You could go into each of these and has its own. I need to. I don't want that.
Sorry, everything's fine. You need to go to bed. Okay, good night.
Like, I wish I could explain this, but it's just so damn complex, and it takes so much time to render anything slightly changed, like I just did. I turned that option off and had to re-render everything.
Yeah, so I think that's probably why I'm not at all interested in Houdini, because I don't care about pre-rendered.
Yeah, and that, I think exactly what you're dealing with is literally what Houdini is, like, all over the place. I want to go into the effects, the particles for it. But yeah, everything's procedural, so like I'd even modeled the DNA strand, I made the shape, and then I added a mountain to add texture to it, so it like makes it look like this.
This shit's insane. I wish I could explain more of this, but this is
So,
why.
dude, I don't need it. I don't need to know anything about Houdini. Like you're just explaining node-based stuff. Houdini's just node-based. Houdini is procedural node-based. That's it. But there's nothing unique about Houdini. It's just the whole thing is built around that.
Yeah, that's what I think Niagara is trying to aim for, is more of like a node-based, where everything's procedural, and that's why you're not liking it, because you're not manually taking control over it. I know, like the fire simulations, you have like 6 different other things. Source particles.
Like, I can still access all the little, not all, many of the little same numbers and stuff in here. It's spread out over double the amount of parameters, which I really don't like, because it's harder to find anything. But I like the size. The size is supposed to be, like the lifetime. It's one of the most important things in a particle system. Why is it not just there? I get if you want to put in extra calculations, if you want to do something special with your size. But also, not everything needs that amount. Just let me set the fucking size. With a number. One number.
Yeah, to be honest, I would wish that they made it node-based, because then you could actually manually go into each node and pick it. Here it's just like stacked up on each other without like separation.
Oh, cool. I see now. Sprite size is in there. It was turned off for God knows why. So here's another dumb thing. It has calculate, like in this particular particle system, if I'm understanding this right, it has calculate size by mass turned on, except then all it's doing is multiplying, like it's just multiplying something in by 1. So it's not changing anything. And if you change the proportions of it, which is like a number that it lets you set, it was set at 1, I changed it to 50, nothing changed.
Can you set it to 5 again? I want to see how it looks. Oh.
No, that was me changing it to rock. Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that.
So if I set these to 5, it looks like that. And if I set them to 50, it looks like that. It's exactly the same.
It is. Oh, wow.
All that they're doing with this is they're putting in this density by material. If I change it to rock, they're tiny. If I change it to styrofoam, they're big. That's it. They have this entire calculating node in here just to like add some preset size to it instead of setting the size themselves.
What's that little drop down next to the styrofoam? There's like an arrow all the way to the right.
Way too many node programming things.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Oh no. Yeah, I think you might be able to get into programming through here. New expression, yay. You gotta add expressions.
I'm not going down that. I'm turning off calculate size by mass because it's fucking stupid. I found the number that I want. It's right here. I'll just do it here. I need to take a pee break. I have to just like go breathe for a second. This stuff makes me so mad. Like I get so heated by this. Because it's because in the pursuit of this like realism and pursuit of making everything as tweakable and manageable as possible, all for just like all these, it's all in pursuit of something that 99% of people won't notice and don't care about.
That's literally VFX,
and it's making everything so much harder for 99% of the people that are trying to fucking make it in the first place. This is all here for the 1% of the 1%. Ah!
I'm rendering my thing out so I can show you how cool it looks. But yeah, I know exactly what you mean. It's like so damn complex. It's not even funny.
ball wasn't taken.
You know what? I'm done. I'm done trying to fuck around with this. I'm just gonna do this myself. I'm gonna make my own goddamn particle system with Cascade and just do it the easy way.
Yeah, I was gonna say that for what I was doing in this Houdini project, I had hours of just learning the fundamentals of shit and like where everything's located before I could even try to do it myself. Even
cool.
Building a DNA strand is like, what the hell?
There's no Cascade anymore. I make FX and everything is Niagara.
Yeah, so this is how intense it gets. It's literally, so if I did my whole screen on my Houdini thing, it will take 2 hours per frame to fucking render.
I don't know. I don't have any response to that.
No, it's just gonna take a minute. It says 28 estimate before just this part of the screen is rendered that I selected.
Like that, dude. That's not surprising to me, but it's also not related. Like that's pre-rendered. I'm not talking about pre-rendered. I'm talking about real time.
Which adds the next level of complexity because you want to add pre-render. So what they do is they pre-render it and then they make sprites out of it and then they have to make it look realistic and a lot of it's faking the camera in real-time VFX. So that's probably why they have a lot of camera offset stuff. And the worst part is mine right now is clear also, so it has to bounce through all that light. So that's why it's taking so much time.
Wonderful. Post process, atmospheric fog, decal. Cool. Just can you tell me where the particle is, please? Where the basic ass particle is? Because it's not in any of the actors that I can see. You don't even have it under visual effects. I know you have particles in here because it's in the advanced magic stuff. Like, the regular particles are in here. So how do I make one? Okay, particle system, good. That's on me. It was right at the top. I was looking under all the many menus and drop downs.
You got debated.
Look, man, I'm never gonna get tired of. No, not get tired. I will get tired. I'm never gonna stop saying it. Unreal has too many options. It has too many things in it. And like it turns like only 40%. That's it. But it turns like 40% of them on by default.
Mm-hmm. I know exactly the pain of. It's literally one reason. Like I started steering away from FX. Was like you have so much complex technical shit
and they treat you like ass also in the industry. It's like, cool, we need it in a day. I was watching, I forgot, Alan McKay, I think. He literally like got into his job early just so he could get the render farm, just so he could have an idea what he's doing. It's batshit insane. Maybe I have a video of it. It's pre-rendered, I doubt it. Cut the render in half.
The fuck are you doing? What? Now when I change the sprite size, they're stretched. Oh, because it's a square. Are you fucking kidding me? So no, you don't have an option to just like make this into something that into the between two ranges. No, you have one number.
Yeah, I don't think it's like something you just jump into to understand.
That's how I learned the
So you
original
gotta
particles,
step by
and
step.
and it made sense. But I think you're right. I think that this is too batshit insane to work like that. Which, I don't know, just to me, that's kind of a really good sign of a faulty fucking system. When people literally can't understand it. It's like, cool. Who are you making this for? Do you actually intend anybody to learn to use this? Do you want your user base to grow? No? Okay, cool. Continue down this path.
Like, I just reduced my like render by like 85% and still 7-minute render. Fucking. This is another thing with VFX. Oh, I didn't like was how much you have to wait for shit to render before you could have an idea what the hell you're doing. I have a beefy processor. I did this on a quad core when I started. Oh my god, renders! I wanted to shoot myself.
Okay, so like I don't want smoke. Do you not, why is it wispy smoke? Just give me a dust puff. That's all I fucking want is a dust puff.
You see exactly what you're looking at? That's pre-rendered shit that they did in like probably.
I know, dude. I know it is.
So before even getting to this, you have to get. It's. You're literally pointing out everything that I started realizing the more I affect.
No, I already know all this. Like this, you're not telling me anything new.
Oh no, I'm just saying how when I realized this shit, this is why I try 3D animation. I'm like, oh wow, I could see what I just did in like a few seconds. And yeah, that doesn't really look like a dust particle. They just probably took something and like, let's just try to make dust out of this.
Shield, radials, purlin, muzzle. There's a bunch of muzzle flashes in here. It all starts so fucking tiny.
Can you pick which frame it starts at?
Probably. I don't know how. Bunch of fire sheets, energy smoke, dirt blast, cloud noise, T dust blast. No, no, that's an explosion.
For sure.
So kill the caustic, don't want that. Yeah, I'm thinking this muzzle smoke is probably the best I'm gonna get. Okay, and now I'm gonna have to look up how to create a particle from scratch that uses a texture animation. Because I tried going back, like, twice now to this Niagara thing, just like, okay, maybe it's easier to modify something, and then I see one more option that's like, what the fuck is this? No, I'm done. It does not expose things to modify in the way that I want to modify them. It just doesn't make sense. And that's the absolute fastest way for me to rage quit anything in computers. Is like, I want to do this thing that's really, really easy and I've done before in like 2 other programs. Why won't you do it? Where the fuck is this hidden? How do you want me to calculate? How do you expect me to calculate my way around to this simple operation? Particle sub UV. Are you talking about Niagara too? Now I have to make a material? Okay, muzzle smoke 1. Muzzle smoke 1 and... No, that's snow.
You know, that might work for dust.
I got thin dust, muzzle flash master. too wispy.
The snow one looked pretty decent.
No, the snow one
actually.
has specs in it. I don't want that. Very visible, like snow flake specs.
Yeah, but like without it, I've been like probably exactly what you needed.
Muzzle Flash
Snow and
Master,
dust.
Thin Dust, and Dust Wispy. Oh god, there's so many. No, Directional Dust is one of these. Oh, I see. Okay, those bottom ones are instances. This is actually opening up the nodes. Don't want that.
Yeah, this is exactly why I was just rendering my shit. I'm like, this is just exactly why I grew so tired of it.
Okay, those three. Duplicate them. I'm just gonna move these over to my folder. Okay, come on now, come on! Unreal also takes just so fucking long to move stuff around. Or delete anything. I'm like, you added this in 3 seconds, why does it take 30 to get rid of it? Why did you write this into your source code?
You want access to this? Let's go. Dude, like, this is complex, but I just can't imagine a graphics engineer. Oh my god. My brain fries when they talk about what they talk about.
Yeah, I've got no interest in a lot of the very advanced parts of all of this.
I'm just surprised that people have the mindset to do it. It's like, holy shit. How does it even make sense?
I've got an appreciation for polish. Like, I really do. I appreciate polish, I appreciate all the stuff that goes into making something look and feel great. I don't feel like most of this is making it look and feel great. I feel like a lot of this is just people sucking their own dick. They're like, look at how complex and advanced I can make this little swirl of dust. And I'm like, alright, now show me 10 people who gave a fuck. Use your time somewhere else. On something that people will appreciate.
And it's like 5 seconds max on the screen. Alright, I found one of the videos I made. If you just want to quickly look, then I...
Sure. Uh-huh. Yeah, no, I've seen that before.
Yeah,
well, that type of thing before.
Yeah, I was doing a tutorial. That shit... That's just like an hour, 2 hours of tutorial and like another hour or two of rendering. Maybe not an hour. I think this one was optimized pretty well. It's cool at the final product, but like how much effort it takes to go into that is insane. Alrighty, let me take off me stream.
And you know the worst part about VFX is there's stylized VFX and realistic VFX in industry. And again, it's even another level of specialization.
Yeah, so getting into that stuff is really making me think like, yo, I've got tech art skills, but I still just I'm never gonna be at that level. I'm never gonna be specialized to that degree there. I don't enjoy tweaking and modifying stuff when you get to that fine level of granularity in VFX and shaders and all that kind of shit. Like,
yeah, you probably want.
I enjoy that. I enjoyed that level in animation. That's it. That's the only place where I actually enjoy getting that granular with it.
And I think with animation, like it feels like you're doing it instead of like something calculating, you know?
No, I don't care about the feeling of calculation.
Right.
I don't care about that. I care about whether or not I can understand what's happening. And at that level of abstracted math and node shit, it's like there is no you can't. Unless you've spent 10 years of your life understanding how all the math goes into it, you cannot understand what every calculation is doing. It's all adding up to some end result, but like you can't look at any step of it and know what's happening.
Yeah, I feel like because you know more shader stuff. Do you do 2D?
What?
Like, do you do like 2D drawings and all that?
I used to draw a webcomic, but not much anymore. I'm not a very fast drawer.
Yeah, that's the thing. I think right now you're pulling up the real not the realistic VFX, while you want more stylized, and that's what's like this is blowing up.
Yeah, I shoot me if I ever end up working for some realistic ass studio. I don't want anything to do with that. I would probably turn it down if Activision or whatever called me up tomorrow and they're like, "Hey, we'll pay you $100,000. Come down here and work on Call of Duty." I'd be like, "Fuck you." I literally don't want to put my effort towards making more of that garbage. And I'm speaking very hyperbolically right now. Anybody that's watching this in the chat, if you like those types of games, if you like that type of visual style, you go for it. You enjoy that. This is my revved up feelings and how irritated I am just trying to understand how to make something simple. But simple just doesn't exist anymore when you're trying to make shit like this. Because everything has been pulled in that direction, and I hate it.
Yeah. Oh, man. Like, I thought I wanted to do realistic stuff, but it's just, like I said, so granular. You have to know so much shit, and you have to click so many different settings.
I've never wanted to do realistic. I've never had any interest in realistic.
Yeah, probably find like a... went off stream or something, find like a stylized poof, because I think it'd be like a quarter of the time.
I can't find it. I've already spent like days looking.
Nothing.
This footstep poof is the only thing I can find. Well, sorry, what I mean is that like I wanted to find something that I can modify.
Yeah.
Something that's easy to just like take a base and then tweak it. And I'm like, hey, these footstep poofs look really close to what I want. And then I spend this entire morning shredding into how Niagara is just way too much. And at this point, it's like basically 11, so I gotta go. Like, I gotta stop streaming because it's time for me to start my workday. So I'm probably going to keep doing some research over here on my own, but I need to be available and signed on to the work computer, so I can't be streaming. Sorry guys for this morning, I did a whole lot of not much. There was conversation, I added in a few breakdowns on Riker, and then I opened up Unreal and started ranting.
Great stream, great stream.
Maybe I should just pay $5 and find something that's... Because I've been looking for free assets. And all the amount of time that I've now spent being frustrated at this has taken up more money than it could have been if I just found something that was $5.
Probably.
Later, streamer watchers. I'll be back in a couple days, probably. Tomorrow morning it's class, so I can't stream then, but I'll probably be back on Friday morning.
Doors open?
I'm gonna look, Palisade.